Timothy felt silent for a while before saying, "I guess you aren't going to confess, eh?" "Nothing happened for me to confess, so why should I?" Wilbur replied. Timothy said, "Two completely opposing statements. One of you has to be lying. You do know that the consequences of lying in a place like this are extremely severe." "I know they're severe, but isn't it up to you to prove who's telling the truth?" Wilbur said. Timothy smirked coldly. "Of course we will, but you'll have to be responsible for what you said." "I know I am. I trust that you're a responsible person who will get to the bottom of this," Wilbur said with a smile. Timothy felt silent. Judging from how cases like this usually went, the women were less prone to lie. That was why he was leaning more towards believing Shelby. But Wilbur seemed extremely calm and confident. He was either really good at keeping his cool, or he was telling the truth. The whole thing was a little complicated. It would require some tricks from Timothy. A moment later, Timothy said, "Is there anything else you'd like to add?" "Nope," Wilbur said. Timothy then said, "Send him to the detainment room." "Got it." The policeman got up, releasing Wilbur's wrists so he could sign his statement before he was sent to the detainment room. Timothy returned to his office. He rubbed his temples, feeling a headache coming on. There were no security cameras in the house. Neither party's statement was enough to prove that the assault had happened or not. However, sexual assault was a severe issue and had to be treated with caution. Timothy lit up a cigarette, fallen silent. The next morning, Timothy woke up on the couch in his office. He cleaned himself up slightly before preparing to head to Wilbur's house for further investigation. At the same time, Shelby's wounds were investigated, and a more thorough inspection was performed to check for any further indications of assault. Yet just then, a policeman came running in hurriedly. "Officer Evans, Chief Hemmington is here." "Oh, why did he say hi to me?" Timothy got dressed in a hurry, running outside. Just then a man in his 50s walked in with two people. He was dressed casually. Timothy walked up and greeted him at once. "Chief Hemmington, why didn't you tell me you were coming?" Bowie and Timothy shook hands, and the former smiled. "I'm just here for a spot check. There was no need for that." "Yes, I suppose there wasn't," Timothy said. Bowie looked around him before saying, "Nothing big has happened around here lately, right?" "No." Timothy could sense something was off as soon as Bowie said the words. He turned to look at Bowie, then said, "There was a sexual assault case that came in last night. We're looking into it right now." "Oh, that's a pretty severe case. You have to make good use of your time and make sure the victim gets justice," Bowie said. Timothy nodded. Bowie circled the station without pausing much, then walked out after that. Timothy walked him to the door, where Bowie patted him on the shoulder. "I'm sure you'll do a good job. You're a young man, and you've got a bright future ahead of you." "Thank you, Chief." Timothy smiled placatingly. Bowie nodded. "Well, I won't take up much of your time. Goodbye now." Just as Bowie was about to leave, a Benz stopped in front of a station. Faye got out of the car, her secretary in tow. "Oh my, Miss Eves, what brings you here?" Bowie greeted her warmly, shaking her hand. Faye was all smiles as she shook Bowie's hand. "A friend of mine has something here that he needs to sort out, so here I am." "Is that so? I'll get out of your way and leave you to it then." Bowie smiled, got into his car, and drove off. Faye stepped into the station, but Timothy blocked her path with a frosty expression. "You're certainly playing with a heavy hand.